Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video, what are some of the red flags on the first date? Your very first date, you're going out with this person for the very first time. What are some of these red flags that you're not supposed to ignore? For example, you've gone for your very first date with this person, and if it's a guy, he is so touchy with you, he's always touching you on the very first day. That is a red flag. And then another thing, this person, whether it's a lady or a man, keeps on talking about his or her ex, how his ex or her ex used to be narcissist, toxic, just negative things about the ex. That is a red flag. So guys, let's go straight into this video and try to find out some of the red flags that you're not supposed to ignore on your very first date.
Oh, y'all are strict. I just had a homegirl end it with a dude because he asked her where she wanted to go for the first date. Her excuse was, well, he asked me, that means he not going to be a good leader. Lord bless us all. That's why we still single. I am delighted that a man would ask me where I want to go on the first date. That means he cares about what I want, what I like, could potentially do well in catering to me in the future. An opportunity for him to pay attention to detail. Y'all got to think, some of the things that we want out of a man are not going to translate well in the future. So say he does, in the first date, don't ask you nothing, say, I'm going to pick you up at 8. And then 2 months later, when you're in a relationship, you confused as to why he's controlling. Says you too strong-minded when you say, how come we never go where I want to go? Think about it. Think about it. Or he chooses, and now you on the way to Captain D's. If I still believed in women shooting their shot, I call him right up. Ring! Because y'all really dropping the ball.
These are some first date red flags to look out for, and if he does any of these, I need you to actually run away. The first thing is, if he is talking about his ex and he's talking about her in a very negative connotation on this date, and he goes on and on and on about his ex, and he was wronged by his ex this, she's crazy, huge red flag. It shows he has no accountability and no respect. Clearly he's not over the entire situation with this ex, so he's not ready to move forward and move on in a new relationship. So it's not going to get better. You just want to end this where it's at. 2, if he's very touchy with you very early on, which means he's comfortable touching your leg, he's comfortable touching you in general, this guy has a lack of respect for you and your boundaries, and clearly his mind is going somewhere else, and he's not trying to impress you right away. You just don't want to be in a situation where this guy feels so comfortable to touch you and he doesn't even know you. 3 is, if he's not an automatic gentleman right away, he's not pulling out your chair, he's not opening the door for you, he's not even offering to get you an Uber to the restaurant or anything like that. I just think that shows a sign of not a true gentleman, and a true gentleman would automatically just want to show you that respect. So if he doesn't have it in him already and you have to remind him, I would just end that date right there, because it will translate into other things of how he treats you. 4 is, if he's obviously rude to the waiter, but he's super nice to you. Clearly this shows disrespect of people he thinks are below him, and he will eventually treat you like that as well. So you just want to make sure that if he is doing this, you observe him. That way it'll show you what his true colors will be like months down the road. 5 is, if he walks ahead of you. This is a huge thing I hate to see. It shows that he lacks protection for you and wanting to make sure you're okay, because if he's walking ahead of you, how does he know what's going on right behind him, right? That is a huge red flag. Any guy who walks in front of you at all, he should be always standing right beside you or walking beside you, never ahead of you, and that is not a gentlemanly thing to do, and it shows he does not have that much respect for you. It'll just get worse down the line. I think around 6, but basically if he's easily distracted by a lot of different things going on around him versus listening to you, I think that's a really huge red flag. You should, even if you have like ADHD, right? Like everyone, it's hard to like stay so focused, right? But at the same time, if you're on a date, you want to have a good first impression, so you're going to try your hardest that your date knows you're listening to them, right? So if he looks distracted, there's things going on around him, he's got maybe a wandering eye, I definitely would think that's not even worth pursuing anymore with this guy, because again, it's his first impression. So if he is going to be acting all weird like this on the first date, imagine how many more dates will be weird after that fact. And 7 is, if he is bringing up you paying for the date when he asked you out. That is so weird and just an odd thing to do. I don't care if we're in 2024. Like if you ask someone out, or if the guy asked you out, he is going to be paying. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if he does do this for you, or if he does bring this up, you need to cut off this guy immediately. Clearly, like, he's not a provider mindset, and he doesn't know basic manners and basic etiquette. So no, we're not going to waste any more time on this guy. Put more red flags in the comments below and let me know if you want a part 2. Remember to stay safe, and I love you.
Yes, ladies, you've gone out for the very first time. This is your very first date with this man or this woman. But let's give an example here of a guy. You've gone out with this guy for your very first date. This is your very first time with him. When it comes to paying the bill, this guy doesn't pay up the bill. Remember, this is your very first day, your very first date with him. You're the one who's going to pay or footing that bill. That is a red flag on your very first date. And then another thing is that if this guy is very touchy, he's always touching you around, talking and touching you each and every place, that is a red flag on your first date. Another thing is that another red flag on your very first date, this guy is actually asking you on your very first date, which places do you want to go? Where can I take you? Where are we going? That is a red flag.
First date red flags. Let's talk about it, ladies. Number 1, he knows what neighborhood you live in, but he picks a place that's close to him and far from you, meaning he has no consideration for you and he's only thinking about himself, and he might have the expectation of going back to his place afterward because it's just around the corner. At the very least, you can meet in the middle, but a truly considerate man would pick somewhere convenient for you. Number 2, he's late and doesn't communicate his tardiness. No text saying, sorry, I'm running about 5 to 10 minutes late. I'll be there as soon as possible. And he doesn't apologize when he arrives. Either he is just not a punctual person, he doesn't respect your time, or he's not really a planner and he lacks the foresight to want to get there early to grab a good spot for you to get to know each other. None of those things are really qualities you want in a partner. So, red flag. Number 3, he talks about himself the whole time and doesn't ask follow-up questions when you mention things about yourself. He is clearly not interested in getting to know you at all. So welcome to his TED Talk. Red flag. Number 4, he wants to split the bill. I know, this is a hot topic, but for the first date, my goodness, I would expect him to pay, especially if he asked me out on the date. Call me old-fashioned, but if he didn't, I'd think, oh, okay, I guess he just wants to be friends or friends with benefits because he can't be serious. Or if he's that tight with money, if he's on a budget, he can't afford to be dating anyway. So, red flag. Number 5, he doesn't check to see if you got home safely. Now, this is not the reddest of flags, but again, it's about consideration and thoughtfulness in the simplest form. A simple text checking to see if you made it is all that's needed. Otherwise, I think he really didn't care that much. Again, maybe I'm expecting too much. Do what you will with that information. Red flags to me.
Do not ignore this red flag. A man that want to come to your house on the first date, he want to sleep with you, acting like he want to watch a movie. He want to make a movie with you. Get away from men like that, because when they can't get it, they gone.
Okay, so if he says this to you, run. Early stages edition. So this all applies to anyone you're in the talking stage with, someone you are, you seriously like, but it's just really early days. If you see these signs, run. If he says, I miss you, you've just met, you've just started talking. Maybe you haven't even had your first date yet. What does he miss? You just swapped numbers recently and he's like, oh, I miss you so much. If you find yourself thinking to yourself, okay, that's interesting that he already misses me, please don't be silly. Don't get flattered. It's a love bombing technique. To miss someone, that means that you are used to their presence and they are not around anymore. Missing someone, you can't miss someone that you've just met. And even if it's not a technique, it's somewhat clingy. If he's not trying to come across clingy in the early stages, he is trying to love bomb you. He is trying to flatter you in very cheap ways, and you're not cheap. Someone using the tactic of saying they miss you when you've literally just met, it's just such a fuckboy red flag. You do not want a fuckboy. Run. Pet names. He's calling you my baby, my love. And remember, we're talking about early stages here. You've just met this person and already they're dropping baby in your messages. It's their way of claiming you already when he probably has many babies in his phone. Use your own initiative here, because obviously it's case by case. If a guy you've just met is calling you a certain pet name and it just feels a bit odd to you, it just feels a bit premature that he would start giving you pet names. You don't feel like you're to be claimed, if you know what I mean, just yet. Run. Lastly, if you get this text message, you up, you awake, run. Remember, please, I'm sorry, just could you keep in mind, this is not your boyfriend. This is someone you've just met. I know I keep repeating myself, just if you get, are you awake? message and you have not heard from him all day. Just know you are not the only woman in his phone, and unless you're okay with that, just another fuckboy sign. Not only are you not the only woman in his phone, but you're not the first choice. You may not even be the second choice. The one he really wanted to speak to, I don't know, she fell asleep or she's not answering right now, so you're the fallback. And the worst thing is, if this person does pick up the phone eventually, if she does wake up, or, you know, whatever this first choice is doing, as soon as she does this, he's going to leave you on red. If you get that message and you have not heard from him in a long time, run.
Ladies, I'm about to tell you the red flag that you should be looking for on the first date when you're sitting across from this man. And they're not going to like this one, but that is what it is. When he is always agreeing with you, when he's so agreeable, when he comes across like he's got the goggles on, the googly goggles, everything he says, he's just trying to get on your good side. He doesn't want to cause any friction. By the way, I know you've probably been on all your dates are probably like that. No friction. Because that's what they typically do. Oh, less friction. I don't want to stir the pot with anything. That's a flag, ladies. See, you need to see these flags. Because he's not trying to stir the pot. He still wants you to feel good about him. And there's nothing wrong with that, setting a vibe, but setting a vibe where it's too much. He's agreeing too much. It's too, that's going to cause some issues down the road, ladies. You need to know he stands on some business. He has an opinion, and he's not afraid to tell you his opinion, regardless of how you feel about the opinion. Whether it's a belief, whether it's a fact, whatever it is, he needs to be able to stand on it and not care about how you feel about it. If he's not doing that, he might have the googly goggles on, which is like, okay, yep. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Oh my God, tell me more. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, Him? Watch out for him. Watch out for him. He'll pull that rug later on once he gets what he wants. Oh, no, don't let me go there. See, the one that's willing to stand on it, in a nice way, as a gentleman, of course. But a stand-on business gentleman, one with some, yeah.
I'm going to give y'all 2 red flags to not ignore in a relationship. And if you want more red flags, let me know. But the first one is inconsistency. Now, let's just say y'all been dating maybe like a month, little 2 weeks, whatever. And the whole week he been blowing you up. Good morning, good night, what you eat today, what you doing, sending you funny memes, all that, right? And let's just say the next week it just stops. It just stops being so consistent as it was. And you thinking in your head, well, we not together. Well, we don't have a title. That's a red flag, baby. Because when a man really wants you, ain't going to be no inconsistency. He's going to keep applying that pressure until he makes you his girl. So ask the questions. What's going on? Where you been? What are you doing? Why is last week different than this week? Ask it, baby. Okay? The second red flag that you need to know is don't start off no relationship letting no man call you the B word. I don't care if he playing. I don't care if he on joke time. Ain't nothing funny about being called no B word, okay? Because if you start letting them jokes slide, when he get mad, that's what he gonna call you, and it ain't gonna be funny then. So start off the relationship with mutual respect, okay? It have to have mutual respect in order for the relationship to be healthy, okay? No joking about the B word, no joking about being called out of your name. You want a man to respect you, he need to call you by your name, boo, baby, or something else. But it can't be anything that, you'll find insulting if he was mad. Let me know if y'all need some more red flags. I got a list of them.
That's it for today, guys. Some of the red flags on your very first date. Remember, you can't call this person your boyfriend or a girlfriend. This is someone you don't know, you just met for the very first time. What are some of the red flags on this very first date? You see this guy, for example, when you're talking, he's so much flirtatious. He's always flirting with you, touching you each and every time. That is a red flag. Then another thing, when this guy, before you've even met, you are maybe having a conversation on the phone call, and he's like, can you come to my place, or can I come to your place? That is a red flag. Another thing is that if you've already met this guy, this is a very fast date. When it comes to paying the bill, this guy wants you to split that bill. He wants the bill to be split, or even some even don't want to pay that bill. He requests you to pay the bill, or even comes up with a pretense that he doesn't have any cash with him. That is a red flag. And then when you've parted ways, you've gone to your place, he's gone back to his place, the guy doesn't even bother to ask you or follow up on whether you reached safely, whether you arrived safely at your place. He doesn't even bother. That is a red flag. So guys, thank you so much. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section, and bye for now.